Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so this is going to be a today's topic video. It is for the 4th of November, and just know these are the videos that I try to put them out a little bit in advance because I know I have watchers that are in other time zones where your days are ahead of my own. So just know that, and also know these are the series where I leave the comments on, and if you would like to enter to win for Monday, every Monday when I record one of these today's topics, that's when I randomly select a winner and do a storytelling for that Monday winner. So just FYI, the winner will be selected in the video that I release on Monday. So it'll be for the 5th, just so you guys know. All right, so this is the Temperance card in the reverse. The message for the 4th begins with Sag energy, but it's in the reverse. So we don't really have balance. We have somebody who could be having kind of a bumpy, rocky day. Let's see why. What are they imbalanced about, or where have they lost their calm and their peace? We have a 6 of Wands. We have the Emperor. And it's interesting because if we look, that Temperance card, we kind of have the light and we have the darkness behind. We have the shadow version here. Again, we have like the marble version, and then we have the real flesh and blood version. So it feels like somebody has lost their sense of peace in regards to, like, did I make the right call? Maybe somebody tried to they had to make a hard call or will have to make a hard decision, and they're like, this is the way a leader would lead. And then it's like, am I being somebody who's trying to lead without using my heart at all? How do you make a decision if you don't use all the facets that you've got to help you make decisions? Look, just because something legal doesn't mean it's right. Making a decision that you're going to regret for the rest of your life because it's like, well, I had to make a tough decision, made a tough call, and this was, this would preserve, something for my, sense of pride, but it was dead wrong. What I just did was dead wrong. All I can say is that somebody in a position of leadership is going to have to make a decision, and it's the wrong decision. Even though they may say on the surface, this is right, they know inside that it isn't. And I just think it's one of those situations where it's like, just, you got to do the thing you can live with. We have the Sun, we have the Moon in the reverse, we have the Two of Cups upright. This might be about love. This could be somebody who's like, I made the right decision, right? Like, I stayed maybe in a relationship, but I'm not with the person that I really love. And I can't ever say that, but I'm aware of it. Now that I've made this decision, I almost feel like somebody is choosing the wrong path while it appears to be the right thing to do, and it's dead wrong. And they know this unequivocally. They know who makes them happy. They know who their Two of Cups is. It's very obvious, but they are making the wrong choice. And yet other people, celebrate them and salute them for it. This could be somebody who, like, renews marriage vows or something with the wrong person when they know darn well who they're actually in love with is somebody else. Or maybe this is somebody who's literally going to get married to somebody. I don't think so, though, because they have this like cannonball change to their ankle. It feels like somebody is told by others, that's great. Here you are celebrating an anniversary of how many years that you've been together. And it's like, I'm not happy, but everybody thinks that this is great that I'm celebrating this big, long anniversary, but neither of us are content at all. But to the outside world, yay, what a great accomplishment. All I can say is that this person has no peace whatsoever because it is like burning like fire through their veins that they know who does make them happy, who they are head over heels in love with, and there's who they belong with even, and it's not where they are. Okay, sorry, this is such a tough one. It really is a tough one. Why are you making this decision? We see it's for the Six of Wands. It's for the, like the accolades. It's because other people tell you this is great. Six of Swords and Page of Wands in the reverse. It's almost like They're thinking that if they follow what everybody else tells them they should do, then somehow magically that'll make them forget what they know to be true, which is that they belong somewhere else. They're doing this mostly going against what their heart knows on purpose, saying, well, this will definitely destroy what I wished I had the courage to do. It'll destroy this completely. And that means, this will be a closed door at least. I know who my Two of Cups is. I know where my happiness is. But by not choosing it, by choosing exactly wrong, I mean, I'm sure that this will close a chapter and, that door will just be slammed shut. And then I'll basically, be less miserable. And instead, it's the exact reverse going on. It is so much worse than they could have dreamed. So this person is having a very bad day. Four of Swords, Nine of Swords, they may not leave their room. The thing is, this character, they may go away, spend only time by themselves. I don't know why they're doing this. This feels like, self-flagellation. This feels like a ridiculous thing to do. That's not the choice you wanted to make. Who else is in charge of your life but you? Unmake your choice. If you made the wrong choice, fix it, and fix it real fast. Instead, they're locking themselves in a room or going outside, going on a long walk, and then locking themselves in a room. They could even pretend to be sick just to stay away from everybody. But it feels like it's the weight. Oh my God, seriously. Everything's crashing down. It's the weight of this epic mistake that they've made. Why is it happening on November the 4th? Why is the weight of this collapsing on them? And again, we see the Emperor. They may be either marrying the wrong person or renewing vows or something, and it's the anniversary of I'm with the wrong person instead of the anniversary of I'm married. The only reason I say that is because the Emperor is a married individual oftentimes. Ten of Swords is sideways. It's that I could have ended things, but I'm not. And instead I'm celebrating the thing that isn't right for me when I should be walking away from it. And the Lovers, this is one of those situations where, because it's such the wrong decision to make, and it's so crazy how we have the Tower, which we know is this massive collapse, and then here we have the Eiffel Tower, and then we have Big Ben, the clock tower. We technically have 3 towers here. Talk about an unpleasant day for him, right? He knows who he wishes he was with. He knows exactly where he needs to be. And he knows that by choosing wrong, what he is doing is he's collapsing and ending the relationship of his heart, the one that he wanted to be in. Well, I don't know why you're doing this, character. I cannot comprehend it, other than if you're having this huge collapse on the 4th, what does that mean? Ace of Cups is sideways. I don't understand. Can I get another one? King of Pentacles. Can I get another? Knight of Cups in the reverse. I definitely feel like this is somebody who's smiling for the cameras and stuff. And it's like, I'm in photos with the wrong person. Everything, I'm with the wrong person. This is like I'm living somebody else's life. That's where the big collapse is coming from. But I can't pretend that I understand why they're doing this, other than maybe they say, I don't know if the person that I really would love to be with would want me. Maybe that's it, but I couldn't say. This just feels like, for an Emperor, you sure haven't taken any real reins in your life, except to drive your life down the wrong path, and you keep choosing it. And that's really hard for me to understand, because an Emperor doesn't usually do that. Especially, maybe this is why it's a collapse. Maybe they're realizing this isn't an Emperor. An Emperor wouldn't pull this stunt on themselves nor on others. Okay, we have the Death card. This might be the day that this character says, what the hell is an Emperor? An Emperor is somebody who's supposed to be, honest with themselves and making authentic decisions. And if I haven't been, then maybe I've had it all messed up in my mind as to what an Emperor is. It's not following this dogma. An Emperor is supposed to be somebody that chooses a path that's really right for themselves. Okay, We have the Justice card. I don't know if, by the way, they could be a strong Aries because the Emperor came out twice, but we do also have Scorpio. We do also have Libra. I think that they're starting to realize who the person that they're doing wrong is not only themselves in their own heart, they are doing their Two of Cups dirty. And an Emperor damn sure wouldn't do their person dirty. That Lover's card could be a Gemini that they're in love with, could be a Leo that they're in love with, could be a Pisces that they're in love with. But I think that they're starting to realize, how would I be an emperor if I am possibly doing wrong to the person that my heart loves? What about her? Why am I saying that I'm doing the right brave emperor thing by making a tough decision to stay where I'm also not doing right by the person that I'm staying with, because I don't want to be with them. I want to be with the person of my heart. So I'm basically doing everybody wrong. I'm doing me wrong. I'm doing my Two of Cups wrong. And I'm doing wrong to whomever I'm staying with that I actually don't want to be with. Everything is messed up in this. And maybe he's seeing it that way. That's not what an emperor does. An emperor doesn't stick around and do everybody dirty and claim that, see, what mattered is that I got the applause from all the people around that said, look at that. Here you are staying in a connection. An emperor doesn't care if anybody else approves. An emperor does what's right from here. At least that's what I always think of. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm right, but in this fictional story, I would say we can see his life is not a happy thing right now. And he's having a huge meltdown, and he's realizing everything. He's not operating as an emperor. That's what's collapsing. Okay, does that mean you're going to change it? Does that mean you're going to make an alteration? Well, first, I'm just going to feel really crappy with that Three of Swords. He is definitely having a meltdown. I mean, like, literally, this could be a divine masculine or feminine, doesn't matter what gender we're talking about, but this is somebody who is, we keep seeing them retreat. We see them in deep pain. We see them like overwhelmed by how much this sucks and how much this hurts because they've screwed a bunch of stuff up. They have walked away from the person that they should have walked toward. That alone, I'm wondering if they broke it off with the Two of Cups a long time ago and went a whole different route. And it's like, just, like the house is burning down around their ears today. This idea that I knew the person that I loved, Knight of Wands, and instead I acted like I dipped into her life and back out. Got the Queen of Cups sideways. The other thing that is so agonizing is not only looking at maybe how they handled stuff in the past, what their behavior was, but it's agonizing to realize, I don't know that she would love me anymore. I don't know that she would want to give to me again. The person that I actually loved above all others, my Two of Cups, the person I was the happiest with, could have had the happiest life with, but that's also the person that I may have treated the worst because I kept insisting, why did you think you just couldn't be with your Two of Cups? Can I just see that? Two of Cups, King of Wands. I don't know. This says at one point they thought that they could be with this Two of Cups, but then why did you not end up with them? Three of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Ten of Cups. They left. I have no idea why. Unless it was something about family, said, oh, we need you. Come on back here. Come back into the fold. Come on, be with family. We need you. And they were like, oh, I got to leave. Family's calling me in. And wow, it's so great when I do everything that family wants. It could be somebody got reeled in by family. And their Two of Cups sat and waited and wondered, where are you? When are you? I thought we were going to build a family. That's kind of more what I would say this looks like. The Moon. I have no idea where you went. I have no idea what happened to you. Okay, so they picked, I'm going to say, I almost feel like this person never fully grew up, even though we saw them as an emperor, and maybe this is where they're saying I wasn't an emperor. I was like a little kid, because when the family said, we need you, you have to be here, I kind of dropped my Two of Cups like a hot rock, went back, and then it made me feel so good that family was approving of me coming back into the fold like this, that I basically jilted my Two of Cups. But I thought I was doing the right thing because the family said I was. I got the good accolades, and I need the attaboys, attagirls. I need people to pat me on the head and say I'm making them happy. See, the family was so happy, and I came back into the fold, and I reverted back to being like a 6-year-old, where the family approved of me again. But I left my Two of Cups out there. That's what this looks like. It doesn't look like they're married to somebody else after all. It looks like they somehow had this discombobulated imagining that they either like had to take on the family legacy, and that the family was proud of them for basically giving up their own personal happiness, their personal life to come back into the fold. They gave up love. They gave up everything to come back and like say, okay, I'm going to take over the patriarchy of the family or something. And the family's so proud of me for doing it, but it's at the expense of everything. Maybe they even ended up, the family wanted them to get back with an ex, or the family helped pick somebody that they get to date. This feels very controlling, and it feels like the illusion of strength. This person is not an emperor, and they are realizing that. It almost feels kind of like everything's been a lie. The way they were celebrated for all the wrong things in order to keep them believing that they were doing the right thing when their heart knew and was screaming at them, what am I doing? What am I doing? But the family says I'm doing great. The family picked somebody for me. The family is so happy that I'm here, but I'm jilting my Two of Cups. And I didn't even tell her where I went. I'm just gone. Okay. No wonder he's having a big old disaster. Look, he may do something very impulsive, and it could be like all of a sudden sitting all day in a dark room, sitting on a mountaintop, sitting there thinking about all this. Might suddenly be like, I have to get out of here. I got to go see if I can go talk to my Two of Cups, because this is a judgment card. He's either feeling so judged by sundown, or it's like, it doesn't even matter. I got to go talk to this Two of Cups. All of a sudden, everything is crashing down. I don't even know that it's taking strength. I just think he is racing. I feel like this is somebody who suddenly, he has to go and see, can he even talk to this Two of Cups again? Is there any way to connect to her now? That's what this feels like, is this wild attempt. If that's who his Two of Cups is this wild attempt to suddenly say, is it too late? Oh my God, is it too late? Is it too late? It's definitely her that he's racing to, because she was his great happiness. This feels like, I mean, it's not even in the 11th hour that he's doing. This feels like it's already too late, but he just can't help himself. He's got to race to her. I think he is bailing on this whole other construct of life that he was a part of. And it's like by nightfall, he just has a full-blown meltdown. And as the sun is setting, he's like, I don't even care. I'm bailing on this other life everybody celebrated me and having, and I'm going to my Two of Cups to see if there's any chance of happiness there. Good luck to him. That's a big, heavy one. All right, you guys, I'm going to do the birthday message and leave it right there as a free link in the description box for the 4th. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Good to see you. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.